watching BBN Tonight on your official UK sports station, LEX 18. Presented by Central Bank, the official bank of UK athletics.
It was a good weekend for UK track and field star Abby Steiner. She won 3 events at Saturday's South Carolina Invitational, leading to her being named SEC Women's Co-Runner of the Week. Keith caught up with Abby today.
Well, Abby, first off, congratulations on winning 3 events and being named Co-SEC of the Week. What is that like to win that many events and then to come away with an honor like that from your conference?
Yeah, I'm really honored, especially in the company that I shared that award with. I think we were from Texas. She did some amazing things. So it's really cool to see my name next to someone so honored in the name of track and field. And I think for the wins, me and my coach went in there and we talked about, doing everything that I needed to do and executing. And if I did that, then I would come away with the wins.
There are so many people, I run a little bit myself, and so many people tell me, how can you do that? I always felt like that was a form of punishment because it's like basketball or football players. How did you get started into running, and where's the passion for that?
Yeah, that's funny. We always joke about that within our sport, that our sport is like every sport's punishment, basically. I started running in 8th grade, and I mostly started it just because all my friends were doing it and they just wanted to hang out. And I think a lot of people get into it that way. It's a very social sport and a lot of fun. So I've been playing soccer since I was like 5, and all my friends had been asking me to do it. So I just joined to hang out with them, and it kind of took off from there.
So, how long did it take you to start running past those friends? You get involved with them, and then all of a sudden maybe you're taking off ahead of them.
I kind of had a feeling that I would be successful when I started. I'd been playing club soccer for a really long time, and every year at like our tryouts, we would do this running race just kind of as a fun thing to do at the end of like the last day of tryouts, and I had won it like so many years in a row. So I think that was like my first taste of what track and field was all about. And then when I started in 8th grade, of course, I started learning more about the sport and actually being able to participate in the sport. So that was kind of my first taste of racing against other people. It was with the club soccer tryouts.
So again, 3 events in the 60 meters, 200 meters, the 4x400 relay. What's the challenge of getting ready for, a shorter race and a longer maybe race, and getting ready for those?
I think the biggest challenge with having a range like that, especially with a meet that's just one day long, is you're basically constantly moving around throughout the day. So we started warming up about an hour and a half before the first event started, and then we do our event, and then you have like 20 minutes where you're relaxing, and then you kind of have to go through drills and do all of your warm-up stuff again. So I think it can be a little hard when you're constantly getting ready for the next thing, but it really helps just taking it kind of one event at a time and just focusing on that instead of the big picture.
So again, having run some before, I know that there's, I've run different distances as well, but I feel like there's one that's right there in my wheelhouse. So obviously, is that the 200 meter for you? Is that the one that you feel like it just feels more comfortable?
Yeah, that's always been the event that I feel the most comfortable in and have the most confidence with.
So you had the record, or the best time in the 200 meter, and then you go in and you beat that again. And I assume that's the goal every time you step on the track.
Yeah, me and my coach really talk about like race plans and execution more so than time. So I think it helps for me personally if I talk about how I'm going to execute my race on like a bank track like South Carolina's and what I need to do in order to put myself in a position to run those times. So we like to talk about more body positions, coming out of the block, stuff like that versus times. And then we always say the time will take care of itself if you do all those things.
So obviously when you have a time like that, you have to start thinking about long-term goals. I think the Olympics would have to be in your mind and a goal for you. How realistic is that for you? How much are you working toward that?
Definitely. I do have my time for the trials, so I'll be able to run in the 200 at the Olympic trials, which is really exciting. I think long term, I try not to think about that as much as the indoor season at hand. I feel like it's easier to break it down: indoor season, outdoor season, and then kind of treat the Olympics as a whole different thing. So we don't really talk about it too much other than, hitting that standard and making sure you have a time to go.
Abby, thanks so much for your time. Good luck at Clemson this weekend.
Thank you so much.
And we learned just after we taped that Abby is receiving votes for the Bowerman, one of the most prestigious awards in track and field, presented to the most outstanding male and female athletes in the nation. In our next segment on BBN Tonight, we'll return to men's basketball. Mike Pratt of the UK Sports Network joins us to recap last night's Kentucky-Arkansas game. We'll be right back.